I'm happy to report that I finally started my seeds for the season, and I will show you guys today what I'm actually growing this year. So you guys know by now that I've been an avid gardener, and last year I was able to actually start gardening in ground for the very first time. So this year is actually my second year doing in-ground gardening, and I will of course continue doing container gardening and whatnot. I'll show you guys what that setup looks like when the season starts opening up for gardening season. But today I thought I'll show you guys the things that I'm growing this year. The biggest mistake I made last year was that I started so many seeds because I was so enthusiastic and I thought I had all the space, and I was using square foot gardening, so of course I could fit in everything. But this year I decided to kind of dial things back and do less. However, I mean, I still have a bunch of seedlings here that are going on, so I'll show you guys what I have going, and then I'll tell you guys what my plan is to make sure that I don't have too many seeds at the end of this seedling season. So I have all set up right here. This is the corner that I grow things in our dining room. And I think as time goes by, I will move this setup to probably a different room. But for now, this works really great. So this year I'm growing select varieties of tomatoes, peppers, I've got flowers, and let's see what else. A couple of things. In terms of my setup, one of the things that's been really cool is instead of using popsicle sticks to label my seedlings, I started labeling the actual tray with a labeler, which honestly is actually game-changing because it just works. Part of the reason is when I'm trying to adjust the lights with the popsicle sticks, it ends up hitting the light, whereas like with this I can just adjust the lights the way I want to do it, which is kind of like a dream come true for me. What are we growing this year? So this year, this is what we're growing in this tray. I'll do this really quickly. We've got borage. Borage is really great as a pollinator. So for flowers, I would say that is a must-have for everybody. It's also edible. I have never tried eating it, but some people eat it. I have chives, they've not yet sprouted. I've got some walla onion, sweet onion, red onion, and then over here I've done two different rows of things. At the bottom here I've got some Bloomsdale spinach, and then at the top over there I've got some Black Magic kale right there. I have some lacinato kale, so these are lacinato kale, and then over there is some giant spinach at the back. And then here we have some crisp head lettuce that hasn't yet sprouted at the back there. And then some viriflay spinach. That's what that looks like. Chioggia beets. Those are the red beets. And they're getting true leaves actually, which is awesome. And then I've got some tom lettuce. Tiny tom lettuce. Over here we have baby lettuce. And I know I need to thin all this out, because as you can see, that's a lot. And then I've got some golden beets at the back there. And then here it's just all rapini. So this is the Sorrento rapini, and then this one is the spring rapini. My son loves rapini, and so that's why I'm growing this much rapini. Moving on to the next level, I just have a bunch of tomatoes. This year I'm not growing, I mean, it looks like a lot, but I'm not growing too many tomatoes compared to last year. In this tray, I have my peppers and tomatoes. In terms of tomato, we've got the Sun Gold tomato. This was my favorite tomato last season. My first time growing it, and I think these seeds were from West Coast Seeds, and they all sprout. Like, I never have any fails with them. And then this is, oh no, these are the candy cane peppers. And then back here, I have the Gold Nugget. My husband loved the Gold Nugget tomato last year. It's a yellow, and the Sun Gold, by the way, they are orange. So that's a yellow tomato. And this is a Roma tomato, which everybody knows Roma tomatoes are usually for sauces. I didn't grow those last year, but I want to grow them because I want to freeze and preserve tomatoes this year. The pink Brandywine tomatoes. And then this aisle, I've got the Brookpack tomato. None of them have actually come up. Last year, I also had a difficult time with this tomato. I think the batch of seeds that I got are not necessarily good anymore because of the fact that I've had them for a couple of years, but we'll see. And then here I have my Ceylon red tomato. I really liked this tomato last year. Oh yes, the pink Brandywine is actually like more like a big juicy chunky beefsteak looking tomato, and then this Ceylon red is a mini version of those big tomatoes. Okay, so for the next tray, I started this tray probably a couple of days after I had already started the other 2 trays, and so the starts look a little bit smaller in some cases. So it's mostly my flowers and herbs in here. Over here I have watermelon, radish. I have to obviously move these. They look a little leggy, but it's fine. And then back here I have 2 tomato varieties. This is a cherry Roma that just came up, and this is a cherry mix. I've got these from my in-laws because I love gardening, and they also just mailed them a little bit after I started my other seeds. And then back here, it looks like the Cherry Falls tomato has finally sprouted, or is starting to sprout over here. You can't really see, but it looks like it's there. And this one is an okra plant. I've never grown okra before, but this year I guess I figured I had the seeds, so I might as well try it out. My mom loves okra. And then back here I have Tiny Tim tomato. That's also from my in-laws. Any of these tomatoes really came from my in-laws, I think. Tiny Tim. I have some dill. Dill is really great as a deer repellent, so I'm loving growing that because we have deer in our backyard. And then I have some basil here. I think just this cell has come up, and that's kind of nice and exciting. Back there I have tumbler tomato, so both of them have come up. And then over here I have some lavender. All these are lavenders, so there's an heirloom variety and also a Munstead. Over here we have some hollyhock, and this is supposed to be echinacea, but it's not out yet. Back here we have some dianthus flowers, and here we have some lysianthus. Lysianthus last year took forever to sprout, to the point where I almost threw out the seed starting thing because I thought it wasn't going to come up, and then all of a sudden it came up. These are morning glories. I didn't know that they would come up this quickly, so I need to figure out a plan really soon. And these are also morning glories. This is a garlic seed that I got in a seed swap sometime, and none of them have come up yet. Over here we have a Clancy potato. So these are potato seeds that I'm experimenting with for the second time this year. I tried starting seeds like this last year, but they didn't sprout at all. So I don't know. We'll see how that goes. So yeah, so over here, it's basically just herbs and such. I will say that I'm also growing some chamomiles, some Turkish eggplant that hasn't sprouted, some thyme. And oh yeah, over here I have like a blueberry tomato that I got from a friend as well. So that's kind of cool. So that's pretty much all I'm growing this year. My strategy for this year is that when I get to it, I'm going to make sure that I only keep a few seedlings. So meaning in some cases I started, let's say for one specific variety, I started 4 seeds. I'm going to clip off 2 of them. I mean, with exceptions like the sun gold tomato, I want to just grow so many of those. I'm going to start all 4 seeds in that case. But for the other varieties, like let's say Roma tomato, I'm just going to keep 1 seedling, or for anything else, I'm just going to keep 1. Because last year I ended up having just so many starts, and I didn't have the space, and I started struggling like organizing people to come pick them up, to give them away and stuff like that. So I don't want to deal with that mess this year. So yeah, so that is pretty much what I'm growing this year. And I will definitely be sharing more of my gardening journey this year, which I still have a video that I'm hoping to edit from last year, my first year growing. But I have so much footage from that, and it's going to take me some time to actually get around to editing everything to turn it into one succinct video. But for now, I will be regularly posting probably every week, because once the gardening season starts like this, things move really quickly and things change so quickly. So anyways, I just thought I would post this video because I enjoy watching these types of videos, and yeah, hope you guys learned something about gardening. And if you have any questions about gardening, please feel free to ask me. Also, I do have a gardening guide that I soft launched recently, and I will put the link to that in the description bar below. If you're interested in starting gardening, it is honestly so rewarding and worth it, and I encourage you to try it out. So check out my guide below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.